Are we live? Whew. What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, place to be chilling with Mr. A&D. Better give you guys a Fastlane 2021 review. Yes, I know we're coming a little late, but I was waiting on my team. So if they may come into the live stream a little bit later, not necessarily sure. But we are here on the road to WrestleMania, y'all. So we are really almost in. We are there. We about 4 weeks away now. So this is Fastlane. This was the first WWE show that was being streamed on Peacock. So I watched it regularly on the network. I'm going to ride the network till it falls off. And then I'm going to go over to Peacock. I think if you got Xfinity, you do get it for free. But then I got to go pay. It's a lot of stuff going on with that. But they did the first WWE show on Peacock tonight. And we got to see how that went. I'm like, well, as the first show, I like the second half of Fastlane, to be honest with you. I like the second half. The first half, I was like, it was kind of weird. It's kind of overplayed. They were TV matches. Those were TV matches, but the second half we got was, pay-per-view angles, which I thought was cool. So, overall, I really didn't care for Fastlane until, the end. So, I guess maybe when I talk about it more, I can get into it. So, I missed the pre-show. The pre-show had Riddle defending his United States Championship against Mustafa Ali. So, I seen that Riddle hit his finisher to Mustafa Ali off the middle rope, winning that matchup. I'm pretty sure it was probably a decent, good matchup because those two guys are really good at what they do, got a good amount of chemistry. So I didn't end up seeing those. So, with that being said, we going on to our main show. So the main show is where I came in on that, and we start off the main show with the Women's Tag Team Championship matchup. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belaire taking on Nia Jax and Shayna Basler. So, with that being said, I was like, I don't care necessarily about them defending tag team championships, but the way they was teasing it was, were these women going to be like Shawn Michaels and John Cena for WrestleMania 23? Are they going to go into their championship matchup being the tag team champions? Would it hurt? No, but nobody really cares about titles. And honestly, I think right now the pre-show match at WrestleMania, so Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, they can know they're going to relegate to that. Is most likely going to be Tamina and Natalya going for them championships. That's probably what they're setting up for. Something that nobody asked for or cares about. But when it came to this matchup, it was basically just a bridge to get us to Sasha and Bianca at WrestleMania. And the match was really much of nothing. Reginald comes out. He's on the side with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I thought this was going to be the time that Reginald actually turns and goes to Sasha, because I'm still calling that. I'm holding on to that like I was holding on to that Mephisto type thing, theory in WandaVision. I'm not letting this go. Okay? I see Reginald joining up with Sasha Banks sometimes, but Reginald gets up on the apron to stretch Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks tries to give him a meteor off the apron, and it's distracting Bianca Belaire as she's sitting there trying to, win this matchup. Because she goes and she gives, she either the fall special or the 450 from the time it pins, but then we get the whole Reginald distraction thing. Sasha tags in and tries to give Nia Jax the bank statement, but then she gets distracted again by Reginald, gets rolled up, and they win the matchup. So Bianca's already pissed. She tired of Reginald. She tired of him always distracted Sasha, and she falling for this crap. And so I'm just like, come on, Sasha, you're a champion. You know you don't fall for this crap. So obviously, you need to go over there with Reginald, right? Well, anyway, whatever the case may be, they're arguing, and then all of a sudden, I felt it. I said, Sasha don't like the way she's talking to her, and she slapped Bianca. Like, she slapped Bianca so hard. Like, one, I don't think Bianca was ready for it. And two, she went down to one knee. She was just like, she was like, bitch? Like, she had that look on her face like, yo, this ain't, fuck this wrestling ring, yo. We about to take this to the hood. So, and Sasha got there, called the rookie, hold the championship over. So now we got the heat going. Now, Bianca looks up the WrestleMania side and says, it ain't about history no more. It's about getting that championship. So now we got the definitive heel, definitive face, the way Vince McMahon likes it. So that's necessarily, what's going to be about it. That's all this match was. So the match really would suck if it was nothing. It was a throwaway TV matchup. Going on to the next matchup, we go for the Intercontinental Championship. We have Big E taking on Apollo Crews, the real African American. Ever since Apollo Crews changed his whole gimmick and everything, I've been all with it. And of course, Big E told him he had to get biblical on him on SmackDown. So we see the beatdown. I love Apollo selling the beatdown in that accent that he does. Well, we get onto the matchup, and at the beginning, Big E is whooping Apollo's ass and telling everybody, "Oh, this is what he wanted. You wanted this ass whooping. I'm gonna give you this ass whooping." He's sitting talking to him. It just reminded me of one of my old Southern dads. And trust me, I have one. They're sitting there just whooping your ass, and the next thing you know, he letting you know, like, "Yo, you asked for this, okay? You asked for this ass whooping." Even when the referee tries to pull Big E off, he's just like, "Hey, you asked for this." Okay, so as it goes, Apollo changes it up, hits 3 German suplexes, and then he starts pulling his inner Kurt Angle out. So then we're going back and forth for the matchup, but then there's like this roll up botch that happens. I don't know what happens. I thought Apollo won, but then Big E won, or we don't necessarily know what happened. I don't know if it was a botch. I don't know what happened afterwards, but Apollo attacks Big E. This thing is not done. We're probably getting a WrestleMania matchup, maybe a 2 out of 3 falls matchup, or maybe this is a better one-on-one matchup, because I definitely see this. If there's going to be 2 nights of WrestleMania, I definitely see Apollo finally getting a WrestleMania moment, Big E finally getting a singles match at WrestleMania, stuff like that. I thought I had the graphic up, but I don't know necessarily what happened with that. So, going on to the next matchup, we're gearing up for Shane McMahon going up against Braun Strowman. So we see now that it's they show Shane training backstage, right? He's sitting there, he's doing his Muay Thai. He going for a high knee, and he come down on the leg wrong. And I'm just like, well, you are in your 50s. But however, I'll say we know it's for storyline. I'm just like, this is the way that once again the bridge over to WrestleMania, because Fastlane really wasn't needed, but this is going to get them over so Shane and Braun can have their WrestleMania matchup, so Shane can jump off some shit. That's really all this match is for. I hate to bring it to you kids, but that's all this match is for. So, what happened? We just so randomly, Shane brings out Elias. So, Elias is there with Jackson Riker, and he said, well, I want to show the world, what you can do, what talent you got. And he starts to sing a song. He said, oh, by the way, I can't wrestle, so you're going to be Braun's opponent tonight. And then walks off, and then Braun comes out to take on Elias. I'm like, this was stupid. There's definitely a better way you guys can get to Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman differently, or even do something better for this matchup. Well, basically, he was dominant the whole matchup. Elias tried to get a couple hits in, even diving over from the top, but let's do anything for Braun Strowman. He hits the power slam on him, stares Shane down, and wins the matchup. Honestly, the segment sucked. This whole thing with Shane and Braun Strowman has sucked to the point where it's just like, just get to the match to get to skeptical of what it is. Everybody just want to see Shane jump off that some shit, and it's most likely going to be that pirate boat that they have in in the stadium in Tampa. So why not? Okay, so moving on from there, like I said, it's first half of Fastlane. Even though the thing was going fast, it dragged on from there. But now we can finally get a quality match. Seth Rollins taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. And I mean, like, we're talking about Shinsuke Nakamura. But before we even get out there, Matt Riddle just rolls up on Nakamura, and he's talking to Nakamura, and it's just like, wait a minute. They got Riddle, or I'm going to call him Matt Riddle, like a blubbering idiot. And I'm like, what happened to Riddle? You know what I'm saying? What happened to Riddle? I don't understand what's going on with him, what's going on with that. He's back there riding the scooter. But I'm glad Shinsuke, he done dropped a Zero Ranger 5 gear. And he goes back to the old music. We get Shinsuke Nakamura. So Uh, I wish we got the title, the Kick of Strong style back, but we're not quite there just yet. So he's going up against Seth Rollins, and the matchup is what you expect between Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. It's pretty good, but there's no heat to it. Obviously, we just have Shinsuke. It's like he's fighting for his friend Cesaro because of what Seth Rollins and Cesaro's been doing. But I'm like, but Shinsuke should be in a prominent role or be doing something prominently at WrestleMania, not relegated to a damn Andre Giant Battle Royal, which is going to suck, or just, being a bridge for to get to Seth Rollins and Cesaro. But the match is all right for what it is. Seth Rollins does all his stuff, and it's the buckle bomb, Falcon arrows and stuff like that on Shinsuke. There was this unique move. I think Shinsuke was going for the Kinshasa, and then Seth Rollins wraps his knee around Shinsuke to stop his momentum. It's kind of hard to explain. I had to see it again, by the way. But then it's okay, it was long selling. I'm not saying it's Triple H Booker T WrestleMania 19 selling, but it's to the point I'm like, okay, get up. What's going to thing? Hold on, I got a question. Do you think they will ever bring back the beginning of Shinsuke's theme? I hope so. To be honest with you, I really hope so that they would do that, but I don't necessarily think Vince don't want the fans. He hates fan participation, especially when it's not him that's the one that do it. Unfortunately, maybe for WrestleMania, if he had a bigger role, I would bring back the beginning of Shinsuke's theme. I love Shinsuke's theme. I see Shinsuke's theme live, so that's how I would do it. But Seth Rollins gives Shinsuke a curb stomp, and that's the match right there. So I was like, okay, well, that was a little anticlimactic on how the match finished. So I'm like, Shinsuke has a match with Rollins. So what happens to Shinsuke now? You know what I'm saying? I got to see what's going to happen to Shinsuke now after this kind of stuff. So, but after all that happened, now we're getting to the stuff that was good about Fastlane. So we're going to try the next match. No holds barred. 20 years of friendship as they build up. Scottish and Irish, all that. We get Drew McIntyre taking on Sheamus. So we had that great matchup between Drew and Sheamus at in Raw, and I was like, damn, this was really good. Why'd y'all get this away on Raw? Then they had that no holds barred match they were supposed to do, or was that supposed to be last minute? No, it was no holds barred match where they ran the steps into each other, so it was a no contest. So now we get the no holds bar, and they really do it. Drew McIntyre comes out with the Braveheart paint, the blue and white going across the face. So it's like, we really going to do this. I want to see. These two got good chemistry. I want to see what they can bring in this matchup that we haven't really necessarily seen. And they do. They do bring it because in the beginning, these guys taking some hard shots with these candlesticks. You can start seeing the whelps on Sheamus' body. You can start seeing the whelps on Drew McIntyre's body. And they take turns hitting each other with these sticks, tripping Drew McIntyre into the steel steps. And then Sheamus comes off the announce table. He tries to give McIntyre a white noise to the announce table, but then McIntyre fights out of it, kind of throws him off the table right into the barricade padding that's right there by the timekeeper's table. So after he does it, they start battling up the stage because they're in that full baseball arena, which they don't use, which I don't understand. But they're in that full baseball arena, which you're gonna have to get out eventually. Sheamus hits a suplex on McIntyre right there on the floor. That looked like it sucked. Okay, these guys are really giving some kind of big impact beatings here. They fight up on a little trial where they have all the Thunderdome screens at. Same place where Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns were that way on SmackDown. And Sheamus gives a rolling senton to Drew McIntyre while he's up there. And I'm like, my God, they really taking some shots here. Drew fights back, and it throws Sheamus to one of the screens, and he falls down, and then it starts sparking up a little bit. I was like, oh, man, I didn't know. I thought that was the end right there. But no, Sheamus finds his way back down towards the ring. Drew McIntyre suplex Sheamus from outside the ring, back into the floor near where the ring is at. But Sheamus comes up, hits a bro kick on McIntyre, and knocks him through over the barricade. Now they're fighting on top of the barricade, and now that table that they didn't break the first time, Sheamus now has McIntyre in the white noise while he's on top of the barricade, and they gives him a white noise through the table. So I'm like, oh man, this is brutal. There's not one doubt in my mind throughout the whole matchup that I was like, Drew's losing this match. He got to go against the Almighty at WrestleMania. So I knew Drew wasn't going to do it, but show me a good matchup. I did not like the line though. I hate. I hate when WWE does this. I hate when they pipe in the "This is awesome" chants, but yet Byron Saxton saying the WWE Universe has spoken. I'm like, are you serious? I hate like when Shane McMahon they pipe the Shane McMahon chants and he's standing there and like taking them all in. I'm like, stop. It's bad enough that we got to do the piping chants, but this time don't do that. So hopefully, come WrestleMania, when we see a live audience, we ain't got to worry about this crap. To be completely honest with you. And we ain't got to worry about, how hear the piper sounds, even though still be safe when you go to WrestleMania. Sheamus brings in, he rolls in McIntyre. He brings in the side piece of the announce table. And he puts it in there. And I was like, what is he about to do on that announce table piece? Because your finishing move is the bro kick. All you got to do is just kick him. But, okay. So he tries to like set up for a powerbomb or a power driver, I guess. But then McIntyre reverses it, hits a Future Shock DDT on the table. And I'm like, well, even though Drew took all that brunt on that announce table, then jumps over, gives the Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins. Like I said, he's about to go on to the Almighty at WrestleMania. So he's got to get ready for that. But it was still good. I like the selling that Drew did at the end where he's up there. He's like trying to hurt his back. But he's like, no, I'm going to do my taunt. Like I don't know, that was kind of nice. I kind of enjoyed that selling because there's some people, there's some guys that will just not sell at all. So I gotta keep my hands sanitized, keep the stuff going. Next up, we have Randy Orton taking on Alexa Bliss. Do I think Sheamus and Keith Lee will be at WrestleMania, bruh? Jermaine, I hope so. I hope so. I really hope so. First of all, where is Keith Lee? Keith Lee missed all these shows. So how you do the chants now? I'll explain to you last place with it. So now, if you listen to like the 2K game, stuff like that, they record all these sounds before. So when you're in the ring, you can hear the crowd, and they will pipe in, "This is awesome," or they will pipe in, saying, "Let's go," whoever, some sucks, or all the chants that as has happened over in the W Universe before, kind of like with the New Day, they will pipe in the New Day Rocks chant so people can go along with it. But that's all recorded stuff. It's just that when the wrestlers take in these chants, it act like there's people really there. I'm like, don't insult my intelligence. That's what I mean by that. To go back to your other question though. Keith Lee and Sheamus, I think will be at WrestleMania. I don't think I don't know what he'll be doing at WrestleMania. Don't add him to Drew McIntyre and Almighty because I that's the match I want. I want the Almighty to win. But however, I know it probably won't happen. Keith Lee, on the other hand, honestly, y'all could go back to PWG, Battle of LA and get Matt Riddle, Keith Lee for United States Championship. I would enjoy that matchup to just let them go out there and just go straight indie, and do it that way. Because I miss Keith Lee. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he's injured, sick. Don't know. He put like a cryptic tweet out, but it's criminal. It's criminal that we're this close to WrestleMania and there's no Keith Lee. It's criminal. So that way, Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. And so it's like, okay, we know WWE and their sponsorship, and especially when they're streaming on Peacock, that it's not going to be an agenda matchup. It's all going to be an angle. At first, I thought it was going to be like a cinematic match. I thought it was going to be like, hey, Randy Orton's backstage looking for Alexa Bliss, stuff like that. But no, we didn't get it that way. So Randy Orton comes out first, and as Randy Orton is doing his taunt, he starts coughing up that black goo that he'd been coughing up a couple weeks ago. And I'm just like, oh, so he's like, get me a damn towel. So he gets the towel, wipes it off. He's like, I'm tired of Alexa Bliss's games, which I'm like, it's the Viper, man. This man be burning people alive and stuff like that. What the fuck is going on? Don't let these people intimidate you. But Alexa Bliss comes out. her makeup looks good. I'm because they make her look very horror movie-esque, like zombie-esque. Like they put very dark makeup around her eyes. They paled her out a little bit. She looked dead a little bit, like, cute, sexy dead. And I was like, I appreciate that. I give WWE credit when credit is due, because there's a lot of times you can show WWE constantly, but when it came to the makeup they gave Alexa Bliss, I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. So she gets in the ring and she like tones the lights down a little bit to make it very eerie. Radio tries to go to her and fire shoots up. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be kind of like cinematic-ish, happening in real time type of thing. She goes parading around the ring, having Randy Orton try to like chase after her. And then she has another fireball that she kind of like shoots up from the ground. And he was like, "Will you try to kill me?" So finally, he gets into the ring, and she kind of like kisses and kind of like kiss a fireball to him. I don't know if it was bad editing, because it didn't like Randy Orton got to it too much, or then now she's trying to play it off like he blocked it. I'm just like, did he, or did it did not get to him, or was it just bad editing? Who knows? But with that said, as she's about to go there and attack Alexa Bliss, we see this hand creep up from underneath the ring and grabs Randy Orton's foot, and I'm like, wow. Okay, and then it goes then we get the smoke, and all of a sudden it's the Fiend. The Fiend is back. He got his mask is all burnt and it's all melted down, and it's still the same mask, but it's all melted down. He has like I want to say Tom Cruise Top Gun type jacket on, the brown leather jacket with the fur around. I was like, maybe, I'm not sure. You can see how it works out, but or kind of like in his like butcher type Texas Chainsaw kind of gear without the smock type thing, but I don't know. That's what I was getting when I seen it. But yeah, it was all, he was all scarred and burnt up type thing like that. So he's just staring at Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss jumps from the top turnbuckle to push Randy Orton into the Sister Abigail to Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss gives a unique pin to Randy Orton, and and she wins the match. She beats Randy Orton. So the Fiend is now back. And we haven't seen the Fiend since December, since Randy Orton set him ablaze. So the question is now, what do y'all even think is going to happen? Do we think we're going to get another Firefly Funhouse matchup at WrestleMania? Are we going to get some kind of gimmick matchup? Because see, now fans are back. So does Vince still want to go and do cinematic matches when fans are here? Because that means if you do a cinematic match, you have to watch up on the screen. And since WrestleMania is here, you want the fans to get the experience. You don't want to watch up on the screen. So we're probably not going to get a Firefly Funhouse match. If we didn't have any fans, I'm pretty sure we would get another Firefly Funhouse matchup. But it's either here or there. Time for the main event for the WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns takes on Daniel Bryan. So, real quick, I already knew that going into this matchup, Roman was not getting who getting the John Cena treatment. He getting. I'm curious to see, who getting the John Cena treatment. But you're talking about man Roman. You know what I'm saying? Roman's a whole heel. But Roman and Daniel Bryan, I knew going into this matchup, Daniel Bryan wasn't going to win the championship. But for some reason, I feel that Daniel Bryan is going to be added to this main event. That's my curiosity. That Daniel Bryan is going to be added to this main event. Because at first, I'm not going to lie to you, a month and a half ago, I was, Randy getting the John Cena treatment. I mean, older John Cena maybe. He did to put the younger guys over probably. A month and a half ago, I was feeling Roman and Edge. Oh, versus Bray. Yeah. They have circled back to this a lot. I really was. Then that Hurt Lock and this Hurt Business, and then Bobby and Drew and Bobby win the championship. Bro, I'm into that now. I'm into the Almighty. I'm into making sure that works type thing. So I'm like, I still want to see Edge and Roman, but it's like if Daniel Bryan's added into there, I'm cool with that. I don't want nobody added in the Bobby and McIntyre, but if Daniel gets added to Roman, I'm cool with that. So in the beginning of the matchup, Bryan is playing mind tricks with Roman. He's sitting there, jabbing at his stomach and stuff like that. He's sitting there like, yo, I ain't got time for this, man. But he's sitting there. He promised that he's gonna make him submit tonight. So Roman finally gets in there, gets a headlock, and Strong holds him, and then we get a lot of mat wrestling by Dan Bryan, showing that he's going to out wrestle Roman Reigns. Meanwhile, the special enforcer Edge is out there on the outside, just making sure everything goes according to plan. So he says. As we move on in the matchup, Dan Bryan goes for top rope suicida, as Marvel now used to say it. But Roman Reigns catches him like he lost his balance, but gives him a power slam to the outside. So now the match starts picking up a little bit. Roman tries to throw Dan Bryan to the post, but then Dan Bryan throws him in there. And now we're getting ourselves a matchup here. So a lot of things is happening. Dan Bryan does the runs and drop kicks in the corner to Roman Reigns, and then he goes and tries to put the yes lock on Roman multiple times as Roman tries to get out. Then there's a shot where the referee gets knocked down. I turned away. I missed how the referee got knocked down. But the referee gets knocked down right in front of Edge. I said, well, we know obviously what we're going to do here. Edge comes in and try to get the pin, but I think Dan Bryan had Roman pin. He kicks out. So then Daniel puts Roman back into the yes lock. Edge asks him, do you want to quit? Do you want to tap out? And then also, here come Jey Uso. Here come the Usos, man. Jey Uso coming there, super kicks Edge, then super kicks DB, and then he goes and starts beating up Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan like, look, man, I'm tired of Jey right now, man. He gets the steel chair that Jey brought in, and it starts hitting Jey Uso with the chair, like multiple times, wailing on Jey Uso. He goes for Jey Uso again and misses, and hits Edge with the chair. So now the enforcer is down. So now Dan Bryan with the chair goes back, and then we are putting Roman into the yes lock. Now there's nowhere for Roman to go. He kind of fought his way out of it and rolled through and all stuff like that. Roman has nowhere to go. So now Roman is like, he's in there. Is he going to pass out? I was like, you know what? WWE did a good job for a millisecond making me believe that since there's fans at this WrestleMania, they were going to change some things. But then it was only a millisecond. He passed out, but then Roman does tap out. Daniel Bryan kept his promise, but there's no ref. And Edge comes in there, and he beats both of them down with steel chairs. He hits Roman with the chair. He hits Daniel Bryan with the chair. He tells him, this was my time, okay? My moment, and I'm not waiting for Daniel Bryan to come here and mess this whole thing up. So he walks out, but now all of a sudden the referee's cool. Referee comes back in there. Roman just quietly goes over backwards and crawls over Dan Bryan and wins the matchup just like that. So I was like, okay, Roman retains. This is obviously got to be a triple threat at Mania. How can it not be a triple threat at Mania? I'm not saying Edge can't hold up with Roman Reigns by himself. That was the first time Roman ever tapped out in WWE. I believe so. I believe it was. You may be right. You might be right on that one. When is Jimmy supposed to return? Look, I'm telling you right now. I would have somebody that be on his live stream that's a huge Uso fan. They got like his personal number that probably can call him and figure out, where the hell is Jimmy at? No, I'm just playing. Jimmy was supposed to come back in January. I don't know where Jimmy's at, because me personally, I was like, have Jimmy come join his brother and Roman. They could be a heel stable. Then they can go after the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Street Profits at WrestleMania. Street Profits versus the Usos. Like, whoa. We already got Street Profits and New Day at Survivor Series, so giving Street Profits and Usos, I would love to see that match at Mania, but we don't know where Jimmy at all. We don't know what any of these guys are going to be doing at WrestleMania. When it comes to the Usos stuff like that, we don't know what they're going to be doing at WrestleMania. But that was Fastlane. And like I said, it looks like the writing is on the wall to put Daniel Bryan into this main event match. Because what is he going to do? It would make no sense for him to go into the Intercontinental Championship story because we have one already. It would make no sense for him to go after the tag team titles because he has no partner. It don't make sense to go after any championship on Raw. He's in this storyline. Edge screwed him over. Roman tapped. He won. And he's the enforcer. Your job, if the referee's down, is to call the match. You didn't call the match. You screwed me over. How is he not part of the triple threat matchup? He has to be. And it gives a little bit more. It gives everybody something to do. And then also, Edge being a little bit older, it gives Edge a time to, break a little bit with the triple threat match. He can roll out and, take some breaks in between, doing that, being a part of WrestleMania and stuff like that. So that's what I have it. How do I rate Fastlane? Well, the first half of the show is a thumbs down. The second half of the show is a thumbs up. I enjoyed from Drew McIntyre. I mean, Seth Rollins and Nakamura wasn't bad. But I've put it like this. When I have the McIntyre match, when I have the main event, when I have the Fiend coming back, those things outweigh whatever the botch was for Apollo Crews, the whole Women's Tag Team Championships and that Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman atrocity of an angle that they were trying to do. So overall, I guess I had to give Fastlane a slight thumbs up show because of the things I liked. I know we're talking about Fastlane, but did you hear Andrade was released? I just heard that Andrade got released. I missed the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast, the podcast that we do. We're supposed to do it every week, and I missed the previous 3 weeks. I just put the newest podcast up with the Fastlane predictions and talking about all that stuff like that. We never got. I was thinking about going back and getting into Andrade, and we never got into Andrade. And I'm happy for him because Andrade was never happy in WWE at all. There was times he was telling his friends not to come to WWE, and I knew the writing was on the wall after they took Selena Vega away from him, and he couldn't speak English, and Vince penalized him because he couldn't speak English, but he had Selena Vega there with him. Why Vince is breaking up people just for the sake of breaking up people? It made no sense. I hated it. So now Andrade is released. I mean, I'm going to have to talk about it more on next week's podcast that I get the news and stuff like that. If it still got a 90-day clause, if he can't compete. But yeah, I mean, he's unhappy. And I know he probably wants to go to AEW and stuff like that. I got another question. If you had to make changes to the pay-per-view, what would you have made? Take Shane and Strowman off. Didn't need to happen. Because that whole segment, it didn't need to happen. The Apollo and Big E thing was good. I didn't have a problem with the match. I had a problem with how it was a finish because it looked like it was a botch. It looked like the referee counted. Somebody forgot to kick out, and nobody knew what happened because they never put back to a replay because somebody fucked up. But I knew the finish was supposed to be a little tricky anyway, so we can get to WrestleMania. So I didn't have a problem with that. The whole thing with the Women's Tag Team Champion, I'm just tired of seeing Nia and Shayna Basler, to be honest with you. So, but it's like right now they want to use this matchup to get Sasha and Bianca to their matchup at WrestleMania. I would have had Reggie join with Sasha tonight. Personally, I would not had the botch for Apollo and Big E if it was a botch, and the whole Strowman and Shane, I would have canceled off this card completely, and I would have, I gave that spot to Mustafa Ali and Riddle, and that would have been a way better Fastlane. But I'm not saying that the Fastlane that we got was bad. It's just that the first half I just didn't like because those things right there. But I can't ignore the things that we got that were actually pretty good. So, WWE did deny last week, or last thing I read, they did deny the release of Andrade, but now they just granted it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's because of Charlotte's his lady, or if, he was being real difficult backstage to work with. Or because, honestly, if you got nothing for this guy to do, if there's nothing for this guy to do, period, why is he even there? Why you got him coming to the COVID suit? Why you got him coming to these Raw tapings if you're not going to use him? It's a waste of a talent. And Andrade is a very good wrestler, like I said, but you broke up the act. He can't survive when it comes to talking. You got to do talking. You got to do the promo type thing. Selena Vega's gone. You know what I'm saying? She is gone. She got fired, and now Charlotte ain't gonna talk for him. Charlotte is bigger. She's doing her own thing. So he needed that, and they broke up a hot act. And if you think about it, even in NXT, the best run Andrade ever had was with that NXT Championship with Selena Vega. And he had one of the best NXT matches ever right here where I'm at in Philly, him and Johnny Gargano, when I went down there and seen that thing live. So, anything that Andrade has been through, Andrade has done nothing on Raw memorable. The only thing Andrade had good on the main roster was his rivalry with Rey Mysterio, which they were supposed to have a WrestleMania match. They never did. And they ended up just putting Rey Mysterio and Andrade as the default match every single Raw for like 30 weeks. And I'm just like to the point where you can really go back and look. Andrade and Rey Mysterio have had to fight. Honestly, if you without doing an exaggerated number like a million times, they had to fight legit 15 times, 15, 16 sometimes in about a good 4-month span. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to do. They had nothing for him to do. This man should be champion. You know what I'm saying? This man should be doing something more, of an angle. He should have an angle going in WrestleMania. Him and Ricochet should have something going on with them, and they're not doing it. Where's Aleister Black? Because his wife has got fired. So he's probably waiting until his contract is out too. The question is he going to go to AEW, or is he going to try to go to New Japan, or is he going to try to, go down to AAA, and do some more Lucha Libre kind of stuff? Who knows? But he's been released, and like I said, I wish I would have got that news so I could talk about it, more on my podcast. I like doing the research and doing more stuff behind there, but he needs to do. What do you think will happen to Retribution? I want them to drop the mask and get the names back on Raw. I am so happy. I didn't mention this when I was talking about the pre-show match. I'm so happy that they turned on. First of all, Mustafa Ali shouldn't have to deal with that in the first place. But Retribution sucked. Okay, Retribution lost all their credibility back months ago when the Hurt Business just beat them clean. And that was like their first 4-on-4 matchup with the two stables, and it was clear that WWE was putting all their eggs in the basket behind the Hurt Business, which they should have. But when it comes to Retribution, no, man. I hope they go. Honestly, if T-Bar and Mace will still be a tag team, but that would just be stupid because that's Dominic Dijakovic. He needs to be by himself. He's an awesome guy. Dio Madden, I don't know what they'll do with him. Like, this gimmick probably helped more for Dio Madden than anybody else. Slapjack, Shane Thorne could do something else. Mia Yim, to me, was the one that bothered me the most. I was like, Mia Yim is great. I've been watching Mia Yim since she was Jade in TNA. And I love Mia Yim. I'm a big fan of Mia Yim. And when she came to House of Hardcore here in Philly, and I met Mia Yim, she's a nice woman. And I'm rooting for her, and I was like, when she came up with this Retribution, I said, this is stupid. She should not be doing this. So yeah, they can go have their real names, go out and be Mia Yim. Dominic Dijakovic, go out and be Dominic Dijakovic. You could actually send Shane Thorne back to NXT, and you can send Dio Madden back to NXT and have a good NXT run. Because what's he going to do on the main roster? For Dio Madden, I said he's not going to really do much of anything. So right now, other than Retribution, it's best that he just, go back to main roster. Now, if they're going to try to be a group without Mustafa Ali, no, just end the whole thing. The whole thing was a bust. The whole thing was a waste in the first place. I'm not mad at it as going. I'm happy that they turn on. I'm like, just put this shit in the trash. It should never gone this far in the point. So. That's basically how I feel about Retribution. So I'm curious to see, what your guys' thoughts are, like when it comes to WrestleMania, stuff like that. Do you guys have any thoughts of if Roman, Daniel, and Edge are going to be a triple threat, or just stop it? Dio Man versus Almost, no, because we're going to see Almost to debut in a tag team match player at WrestleMania. So, what was the point of me and him? She had one match since joining. There was no point, because, see, honestly, I thought with them having a woman in Retribution as a stable, I felt as though, hey, sure, that means we could probably add a woman to the Hurt Business kind of thing, or Because I figured they was gonna be rivals, and that they gotta have somebody to fight. But she was used to that group. She was points. She did nothing. She had one match, like you said, and she lost that matchup. But she wasn't in line for no women's championship matchup. She wasn't screwing the woman out of championship. Like she beat down Dana Brooke that one time. But that was it. She did nothing. And every time the group was out there jumping people, she just had to stand idly by because the women can't hit the men, and vice versa. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was mostly mad at Mia Yim and just the wasted potential because she's really good, and you really could just get her out this bullshit and get her into the women's division to do some good. Wonder what Riddle would do at Mania. I think they might do Riddle versus Jeff Hardy, maybe. Well, see, it's complicated because at first you thought he was going to go with the whole Hardy Bros type tag team, but Jeff Hardy's old. Jeff Hardy is just there to be Jeff Hardy, put people over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure, you can jump in. I really was hoping to be like Keith Lee. If you guys are familiar with, like I said, PWG and Battle of LA, something the indies that they used to have Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle. Good matchups, and I would love to see like Keith Lee. I agree with you on that one too. I thought Mustafa Ali was going to face Kofi. I mean, that was the story. That's why I was like, what? I really think, I know Vince just tore up everything because I was like, I thought the Hurt Business was going to go into WrestleMania full of gold, okay, and they may leave without the gold, but I think they was going to go in there full of gold with Cedric and Cedric and Shelton being the champs and Bobby being the champ going in there. New Day, they don't need anything to do, and then have Kofi go up because that's the story. That's a rivalry right there between Mustafa Ali and Kofi Kingston, and they had a chance to build that up even at the Rumble, before the Rumble, after the Rumble. They had a chance to build up that story, and they did nothing with it. They didn't even have. They had like one match, I think, if that, or they was in a tag team match together. It was never blow off, and I guess Vince don't feel those as a moneymaker, but that's stupid to me. I felt as though that it actually was dope. But then, so now there's nothing for AJ to do because they thought Triple H was going to wrestle, and there's rumors we don't even know if Triple H is sick or not. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't been at the tapers all week, so we don't know. They was like, well, we got nothing for AJ to do, so they're gonna put him in a tag team matchup. I was like, that is so lazy. But since they feel as though AJ almost versus the Hurt Business is not marketable, we got to put the belts on the New Day. And I'm like, oh, all right. But still, that was just so thrown together. I want to see AJ in the random tag match where the only thing that is worth checking out is what can almost do. Because it looks like they're going to win the championships anyway. And AJ and Almost is going to be tag team champions because AJ never won a tag team champions in WWE, so it'll make him a Grand Slam champion. So, I guess, but it still would have made more sense to if you follow through with the story. It doesn't matter who's in the story. It's a matter of how great the story is being told. Then you'll be excited to see it at Mania. That's what I would have did. And I agree with you for saying that. That's what I would have did also. So, that sucked. I should, I'm still thinking like, man, maybe I should do an Andrade video, later on this week, because, it depends on how Raw and SmackDown goes, if I feel like doing reviews for Raw and SmackDown this week at all. I didn't do it for last week, but it depends on how I feel, because I got a lot of other stuff to do, as y'all see on Nerd Coalition, but I gotta keep my wrestling up, you know what I'm saying? So, but to talk about Andrade, this is some big news that dropped, of course, at midnight on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And right after Fastlane. So this is going to be the talk, obviously. It looks like Charlotte will be out at WrestleMania. So Asuka versus Rhea may be Peyton. Ooh. Uh, Here's the thing. I'm all with you for Rhea. Peyton Royce, I understand that she had that promo on Raw Talk, and they, was trying to build up like, she's being impatient, but honestly, it ain't time for Peyton Royce yet. It really isn't. It's Rhea Ripley's time. Me personally, it should have been Rhea versus Asuka in the first place. It should have been Rhea and Asuka, Bianca and Sasha. That's it. I don't need no multi-woman match. I don't need no triple threat, no fatal four-way, nothing like that. Just one-on-one for Raw and one-on-one for SmackDown, because Rhea and Bianca should be the one carrying this women's division for the rest of 2021. Survivor Series should be the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley taking on the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair in that clash. That's how it should be. So the Peyton Royce thing, I mean, like, if Rhea wins the championship, yeah, Peyton Royce would be somebody good to go up against it. But like, her versus Asuka is a Raw match right now. There's no heat behind it other than that Raw Talk promo to make me want to see Peyton Royce and Asuka go at it in at WrestleMania. That match does not grab my personal attention at all. But when it comes to Rhea, yeah, get her here as fast as you can. But hold on, if you get, I must have missed it. Why isn't Charlotte thinking about going against Asuka? Did something happen to Charlotte that I missed? Because I thought they were trying to set up for Charlotte and Asuka again, at WrestleMania. But I don't know necessarily what happened. Q Flow. What's going on, dude? Join the chat.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
All right.
Welcome to the chat.
Thank you. Apologies for being late. Work.
I understand, bro. I mean, well, I can always use a breather because I have no water up here. I was like, damn, the day I'm by myself, I got no water. Charlotte's filming. Wow. Oh, that's right. Charlotte is filming the movie. She's filming the woman's version of Walking Tall.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
All right.
That's the thing.
Oh. All right.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yep. I mean, I'll check it out for sure, but I mean, that's so random.
So since I literally went over the whole review and that day, you guys in the chat can still keep asking your questions. Keep joining the chat and everything. That since Q Flow is here, we'll just go over real quick. What he thought of Fastlane, what matches he liked, didn't like, and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, want me to go in order? Or?
Sure. It really don't matter now. Like I said, it's me. I worry about the order.
Okay. I feel like I missed a match. What was before Sasha and Bianca Belair?
That was the pre-show with Riddle and Mustafa Ali.
All right, I missed that. I thought, why are we calling him Mustafa?
That's the heel version of his name.
Okay.
Instead of call him Mustafa, it's Mustafa.
Yeah. Well, I missed that one because first off, let me just walk this out the front doors. The Peacock app sucks. This app is.
I was worried about that.
Dude, that app sucks. No, and I'm talking about off WWE and like it's WWE and The Office. That's it. There's nothing on there to watch that's interesting. I'm like, dude, this app sucks, and I'm mad that I'm only using it for The Office and WWE. Like, they got all the Harry Potter movies on there, but I already have the box set, so I didn't need it. So dude, the app sucks. But anyway, so I had missed it because I thought it didn't start yet because I was watching the whatever they call it, the watch along. Yeah. And I'm sitting here like, yo, are they gonna start the pay-per-view? And then that's when I realized, yo, they're talking about Sasha and Bianca Belair right now, and I'm like, all right. So I had to navigate through the app to figure it out. But anyway, so I caught the end of I missed the Matt Riddle match, and I caught the tail end of the women's tag match, and I saw that coming like 3 miles away. We knew they weren't winning. It was going to be some tension. I didn't think Bianca Belair, as as outspoken as she is, I didn't think she was just going to let
Sasha slapping like
Sasha.
that?
Yeah, like she putting a gun to her head and all that, and then she slapped her. I'm like, yo, you taking this? Okay, all right, you strong woman, man. But yeah, I seen that. Yeah, but we seen that a mile away.
No,
what was that?
hold on. I do want to answer this question.
Oh yeah.
He put down, said, since we don't care about tag teams, just do Nia and Shayna versus the Riot Squad so they can break up Nia and Shayna. I would agree if they didn't ruin the Riot Squad.
They ruined the Riot Squad.
You know, I would agree to do that, but Riot Squad looks so weak. Like now, they have not won a match in about 2 months.
You know who's getting them belts?
Natalya and Tamina.
Yeah, and I'm not really mad at it. I like what they've been doing.
Yeah, so what they probably gonna do at WrestleMania is have them two go up against Nia and Shayna on the pre-show, and take the women's tag team titles from them, and you can break up Nia and Shayna and let them go their separate ways as they should be.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I wouldn't be mad to see. I wouldn't be mad to see them break up and Shayna somehow go for the Raw Women's title.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know.
Yeah. So but yeah.
What about Apollo and Big E?
All right. So I had a phone call at the end of the match, so I missed the whole botch. But now here's my thing. The match was corny. It was But I like what I'm seeing with Apollo because first, like, he looks like baby Bobby Lashley, and I hated when he was doing all these cruiserweight moves. I'm like, yo, let him do power moves. I'm watching him suplex City. I'm like, 3 German suplexes? Okay. I'm seeing him, you know what I mean, doing all these random power slams and whatnot. I'm like, this is what I wanted to see from Apollo. Yeah. Because he's a man of his stature. I'm tired of, you know, heavy dudes, heavyweights, as Booker T like to say. I'm tired of them, you know, flying and whatnot. I ain't see one standing move. Did he do it? The little standing moonsault he be doing?
No, he didn't do it. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Kurt Angle, he was doing German suplexes.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's doing power moves on Big E. But I missed the box, so I don't know what happened. Like I had the quick phone call from my job. I come back, Apollo Crews is beating down Big E, and I'm like, who won? And then I heard them just like, yeah, Big E won, but Apollo Crews is standing tall. I'm like, okay. The Old Spice commercial was weird.
Bro, that Old Spice commercial was so bad. I didn't even talk about it the first time. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that was weird. What was after that?
After that, God, what we had? Shane and Braun.
Oh God, yeah, I pass next.
Yeah, it's Seth Rollins and Shinsuke.
I wasn't mad at that match. I don't. It's something off with this. Oh, that's what it was. Michael Cole was not selling it for me. Like why I should be rooting against Seth Rollins. He just kept going, well, he called Cesaro a coward. I'm like, so what? Like, he called him a coward. I'm like, okay. Like, he kept saying that. He kept saying, well, you know, that's what happens when you call his friend a coward. And I'm just like, you just going to keep telling us he's a coward? Like, I don't care. He's a grown man. Fight it out. Like,
yeah.
What are we talking about? But
first of all, the match ain't had no heat in the first place because I was like, so what's Shinsuke going to do after this?
You're right. None of them going for a belt. They don't got nothing to do with Mania.
So, Drew and Sheamus, the no holds barred.
That was a good match.
I like that match.
I like that match a lot. I kind of called them. I kind of was about to call them on their bluff, not their bluff, but like they kind of botched I was punching the announce team a lot, so they were like, yeah, man, you know this is no holds barred. They can take this match anywhere, and I'm like, no, they can't. It's not Falls Count Anywhere. Like,
yeah.
But then they ended up fixing it anyway. It was like, hey, he has to get him back in the ring because you know it's a no holds barred match. I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Whoever, but that was a good match. There's a lot of jealousy was the theme of tonight's pay-per-view because there was a lot of you want my spot, this is my spot, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, there's a lot of envy in this pay-per-view, but that match was dope. I like all the spots. I missed a few things, but I I thought it was a solid match. I figured Drew was gonna win anyway because they want to give him his spotlight at WrestleMania, and I'm mad about that.
Yo, I'm still holding out hope for the Hurt Business and
I am too.
Hurt Lock to win this thing, man.
I was hoping. See, here's my thing is though. Well, we'll see. We'll see. When WrestleMania predictions, I'll say what I gotta say. But regardless, go ahead.
No, I'm saying we had a question. What was the match of the night? It's either between Drew and Sheamus, or because I did like that Roman and Daniel match too.
I did too.
It's between them two for me.
I'm gonna say Drew and Sheamus only because
they had a finish.
Well, no. My thing is, we knew how we predicted it's like move for move how that match was gonna go.
Yeah.
I figured Edge was gonna screw over Daniel Bryan. I didn't know how, but I figured he was gonna screw him over.
Yeah.
So that was predictable. But we're on that match anyway, right?
No.
Oh wait, no wait.
What happened with the Brandy and Alexa?
Listen, I figured the Fiend was coming back tonight. Nightmare fuel what they did with his costume. Nightmare fuel. I'm like, ew, like he looks muddy, burned up and dirty. It's something about the color brown. Like when it's not skin, there's something about the color brown on like clothes and like scar tissue and all. That's just like, it's so weird. But that was a good return, man. That was a good way to return. Because I didn't know how he was gonna come back or what.
The announcers kind of like underplayed it a little bit for me. I'm like, bro, the Fiend is back.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta get a little hype about it. The Fiend is back. So, I like this look. Like I said, at first, it kind of looked like Tom Cruise Top Gun to me.
Yeah.
just dirty.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss. I like what they did with her makeup. She looked like what's that movie? The Ring.
Yeah, I was saying that. I was like, the makeup was good because she looked dead.
She looked
good looking, but dead coming out.
Yeah, like I'm glad it's not this Harley Quinn thing anymore. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 though, and I might be the only one on this hill. This was supposed to be Liv Morgan. Like this whole thing was supposed to be Liv Morgan. I don't know what they did with that, but that was supposed to be Liv Morgan. But I'm not mad with it being Alexa Bliss. I like what they did. Yeah, I figured they weren't going to do any actual wrestling moves. She was button mashing the Hadouken though. God, she was.
How long do y'all think Alexa and Bray will be together? You know, honestly,
I think it ends after Mania.
You didn't go to December. I mean, Alexa can't just go back to normal. We gotta have we gotta have a story to get her back to normal.
Well, Matt Hardy not here to put her in the lake of reincarnation, so
fair. And I mean, she already destroyed Nikki Cross like twice, so you got to figure out if everybody going to care. So as of right now, I think Alexa Bliss and the Fiend will probably be an act going forward until maybe 2021. Because maybe, but I do think maybe Reigns takes out Alexa now.
Wait, huh?
I think because the Fiend is back now, so Alexa was mostly there to help draw on the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
The Fiend is back now. Maybe Alexa get herself a break. Maybe Randy Orton burns her, but they're not gonna have him burn the woman on TV.
Yeah,
but it could probably be something. Maybe he takes her out of Mania. Who knows? But if it goes to an act, I really think it'll probably be for at least the remainder of 2021, so they can figure out a way to break them up. Because right now it's cool just having them together. So
right. See, that's what I was saying though. I think this is gonna be John Cena versus Bray Wyatt again.
Well, Bray better win at Mania.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna win. And then you find some way to write out Alexa so she can go ahead and get married, and then
that's right.
That'll just be it. My thing is though, like, what happens with the Fiend after this though? Who's he? Because they were saying like the Fiend, Like when like he goes up against like he wins these big matches against people he had history with.
Yeah.
So that's what they were saying. That's why he lost to Goldberg but beat John Cena. So, but it's like who does the Fiend go after next?
That's a good question. Because after the Randy chapter is done, does he go after the championship? Which would be, I wouldn't do that yet. But yeah, I don't know. But they got to find something for him to do to keep him relevant for the rest of this year.
Yeah, because how would him and Daniel Bryan? I mean, Drew McIntyre.
Well, McIntyre's on Raw. You're right. So is the Fiend. But it's like, I don't need the Fiend going up against the Almighty right now. I don't need the Fiend going up against McIntyre right now. Maybe Sheamus, maybe Jeff Hardy, maybe something with Retribution. Even though I think they're dead now, but
I think Retribution's done.
They're done. I kind of hope they're done.
They're done. They said Keith Lee.
Roman, huh?
My fault. No. Because I remember you were asking about Keith Lee, and I remember them saying that he gave a tweet saying what was wrong, but I think you already touched on it. It was like a cryptic tweet.
He didn't say what was fully wrong at all. He just basically said, when the time comes, I'll be able to share the truth and stuff like that. But just know I miss y'all type of thing like that. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. At first, like I said, I knew he was probably out because of COVID, but then he had that powerbomb on the edge of the table. He probably could have hurt his back, but then he gets engaged, and then once again, it just feels like the rumor saying that Vince McMahon is just not sold on Keith Lee or doesn't understand, basically the glory of having Keith Lee. So that's what that is. Main event time though. Roman and Daniel matchup. How'd you feel about that one?
This was a good match. This was a very good match. Predictable, but it was still a good match. As a high school, I wrestled in high school, so seeing Daniel getting his little drop step and all that, I'm like, yeah, I like this, man. This taking me back. So I appreciate it. I appreciate what he was doing, messing with the big dog a little bit, man. But I knew the tribal chief was winning. He wasn't going to beat the tribal chief, but
somebody in the chat did ask, where Jimmy Uso at? I said you would have the answer to that.
Listen, man. He'll be here when he get here, man. He at the tribe right now. The hyperbolic time chamber. He'll get here when he get here. Just be patient.
Man, that need, bro.
I'm not gonna lie though. Jay need his brother, man. It's just like these one man promos don't work, man. It's like he don't got they used to bounce off each other with the bars, and it's just like it's not working.
Yeah, because every week it's talking about stuff. You don't something to him like that, DB.
And I'm just like it's not working, man. It's not working. But he'll be back. He'll be back, and when he do, I mean, who got the titles right now? Dolph and Bobby Roode. Where they at? Ask where they at. They the champions. Where they been?
Yeah, but bro, wait till Street Profits get back. I want Street Profits and Usos.
I would love the Street Profits and the Usos. Honestly, make it a triple. Make it a triple threat to get put the titles, put the champions in there too. I wouldn't be mad at that. Especially not at WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, WrestleMania. It's a fine way to get to everybody else on the card. All right, so do you think it's gonna be a triple threat at Mania because of how it ended?
See, here's my thing, right? I'm gonna say, all right. Let's just say it's a triple threat, right? Now, my thing is, two faces ain't winning at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So which face is taking that L? Edge or Drew McIntyre?
But first of all, Edge, after hitting Dan Bryan, he kind of a tweeter right now. The clear cut face is Dan Bryan. The clear cut heel is Roman, and in between is Edge. The face I want to lose at Mania is McIntyre.
Me too. Me too. I just feel like y'all just gave Lashley the belt, and and he ain't come out tonight and destroyed McIntyre. That would have been a good way to look strong. Was come out and beat the daylights out of him after a hardcore match like that. That would have been, that would have been great to see. But I don't know. I think Are they gonna waste Edge's Royal Rumble win?
No, I don't see Edge get a championship right now.
My thing is, if all right, let's just a scenario though. I feel like Daniel Bryan's in there to get the pin.
Yeah.
That way, whoever gets the pin, the loser, the bigger loser doesn't look weak. Roman doesn't look weak. Edge don't look weak. Whoever loses, Daniel Bryan's in there to take the pin. I just don't want Lashley to lose, man. But my thing is too, though, I wanted the Hurt Business to get the Undisputed Era treatment, and they ain't got the tag titles anymore. So it's just like
because they had to find something for AJ Styles to do.
They ain't have to find nothing for AJ Styles to do.
What was he going to do? Because everybody was like, "Is he going with Triple H?" I'm like, they built nothing for AJ Styles. This was lazy.
This was lazy. Although I'm tired of seeing Omos just not doing nothing. Like, especially after that kick when he shattered the guitars. Like, oh. But then it's just like, bro, we get a slam here and a slam there. Put him in the ring, coach.
Oh, yeah. Let's just see what we can do. So, before we get out of here, thumbs up or thumbs down for Fastlane?
I'm gonna give it half a thumb. The bar.
Half a thumb.
Just because it's like I said, I missed one match. The other match was in Apollo Cruz and like it could have been good. Those are two pristine athletes. It could have been. They know better. You know what I'm saying?
I hope they get another chance at WrestleMania though.
I do too. But the rest of the pay-per-view, aside, and then you got Braun Strowman. I forgot about that again.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the rest of the pay-per-view was dope. So
yeah,
I give it a thumbs up. Why not?
That's what I did. So
it's 3 out of 4. Yeah.
So guys, that's gonna be it for our Fastlane review. So you gotta come back for our WrestleMania. I'm trying to make that a big live stream for all of us. We got a new programming here that we're trying out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we're doing a lot of things. And look, I'm gonna make sure everybody clears on their schedule for.
I was about to say I'm about to go get the day off right now. You just reminded me.
2-night event. I'm trying to live stream. I'm trying to get us up to like 20 to 50 people up in this live stream.
Oh man.
Yeah, so we got a lot of work, a lot of promoting to do. So, I'm trying to do that and get us up there so we can talk live about WrestleMania. So I need y'all to come back for that. Subscribe to NC Studios. Also for your gaming, subscribe to NC Level Up as well. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at NC Place 2B as you see it down at the corner below. So, like I said, I may come back tomorrow or Tuesday with a Raw review or Friday with a Smackdown review, depending on, what's going to happen, how I feel about it. But most likely, I said a lot of this week, I'm gonna be busy doing a lot of other stuff like that. So I'm gonna get to things where I can get to them, things like that. Yeah. So, all right, guys, we get ready to get out of here. So once again, this is NCN Place to Be, Church Mercedes D, and the man, the myth, the reality, Q Flow, the rookie.
Y'all take it easy.
All right, take it easy, and the Nerd Coalition is out.